It's early morning. I'm half asleep, dragging myself into the shower, thinking it's just going to be another normal day. The water's running. I'm finally starting to wake up, and out of nowhere. The bathroom door swings open. No knock, no warning, just boom, door wide open, and I'm standing there like, is this really happening right now? I froze for a second. My brain couldn't even process it. You know that moment when you're not sure whether to scream, hide, or just pretend you're invisible? Yeah, that was me. Now, before you start jumping to conclusions, let me explain. This wasn't some stranger breaking in or anything crazy like that. It was actually someone I know, someone who absolutely should have known better. We've lived together for months. We've had the please knock before entering talk more than once. So why this happened? I still don't know. But what made it worse? His reaction, that look on his face. I can't even explain it. Shock, embarrassment, guilt, maybe all of the above. And I know what you're thinking. What happened next? Did I scream at him? Did he run out? Did I slip and fall trying to cover myself? Trust me, it gets even weirder, because what he said next completely threw me off. I wasn't expecting it, at all, and it changed how I saw the whole situation. But hold on. Before we get into that, I need to take you back a little, because there's some context you need to know about our living situation, a few past moments that might explain how we got here. And honestly, this isn't the first time something awkward like this has happened. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, so here's the backstory. Me and my roommate Jay have been living together for about 7 months now. We met through a mutual friend who thought we'd get along since we're both kind of chill, laid back, and into similar stuff like gaming, late night food runs, and binge watching crime documentaries. At first, it was great. He was respectful, we had boundaries, and we even had this unspoken agreement about giving each other space, especially when it came to the bathroom. I mean, that's like roommate rule number one, right? But over the last few weeks, things started feeling off. Jay had been acting kind of distracted, like his head was always somewhere else. He'd forget simple stuff, leaving the stove on, misplacing his keys, and yeah, sometimes barging into rooms without knocking. I chalked it up to stress or just regular life chaos, because we've all been there. But still, this morning hit different. I wasn't expecting him to open the door like that, and I definitely wasn't expecting the weird silence afterward. He just stood there for a second, like time froze. Then he mumbled something I couldn't hear clearly and backed out of the room. And here's the part that's been messing with me all day. What was he going to say? What was that look in his eyes? It wasn't just, oops, my bad. It felt heavier, like maybe he saw or realized something in that moment. Or maybe he was about to say something he'd been holding back. I know that sounds dramatic, but trust me, when you're standing there soaking wet and someone invades your space like that, your mind goes 100 directions at once. The weirdest part? Later that day, Jay avoided me, like full-on ghost mode. No eye contact, no casual "what's up," not even his usual sarcastic comments. And that's not like him. I could feel this weird energy in the apartment, like something unspoken hanging in the air. And the more I thought about it, the more I started wondering if there's something bigger going on that I've been missing all along. Because now, looking back at a few past moments, little things that seemed random at the time, they're starting to add up. Maybe I should have seen this coming. Maybe the signs were always there. Or maybe this is just the beginning of something way more complicated than an accidental walk-in. The silence in the apartment was loud. You ever feel that weird tension where two people are under the same roof, but it's like there's an invisible wall between them? That was exactly the vibe between me and Jay after the whole shower incident. I thought maybe he'd just come clean, make a joke, or at least acknowledge what happened. But nope, it was like he hit the reset button on our entire friendship, and the more he ignored it, the more I couldn't stop thinking about it. Then, little things started standing out, like how he kept locking his room now, which he never used to do, or how he'd suddenly leave the room when I walked in. It wasn't just awkwardness, it felt intentional. And honestly, it made me wonder if the whole accidental walk-in was even an accident at all. Was he distracted? Or was there something he wasn't telling me? And if there was, why keep it a secret? I started remembering this one night a few weeks back. We were both up late, half asleep on the couch, watching one of those crime shows. There was this one moment where a character talks about trust, how it's easy to lose and hard to earn back. I remember Jay got real quiet. I thought he was just tired. But now I'm wondering if that hit him differently. Like maybe he was dealing with something internal that he didn't know how to share. Or maybe he felt like if he said it out loud, it would change things. At the same time, I started noticing weird behavior from our mutual friend Mia, the one who introduced us. She randomly texted me, asking if everything was okay between me and Jay. I hadn't told her anything, not even a hint. That's when it clicked. Maybe Jay talked to her. Maybe he needed advice. Or maybe he told her something about me. Something I don't even know yet. And now I feel like I'm in the middle of something I don't understand. A situation that started with a simple mistake, or what looked like a mistake, but maybe has deeper roots. What's Jay hiding? Why can't he just talk to me? And what does Mia know that I don't? Every answer I come up with just leads to more questions. And the tension? It's only getting worse. A few days passed and things just kept getting stranger. Jay barely said a word to me, and when he did, it was dry, awkward, like he was forcing himself to act normal. We were like two strangers passing each other in a shared space, pretending like nothing happened. But something had happened. Something that was clearly eating at him. And now, at me too. The more I tried to let it go, the more it messed with my head. Every little thing started to feel like a clue. His late-night phone calls behind closed doors, the way he'd pause when I walked into the room like he was about to say something then didn't. And Mia, she texted again. Her message said, "I think Jay's going through something. Just don't be too hard on him if he seems off. He's not good at opening up." That only made it worse. It confirmed something was going on, but still gave me no answers. What was I supposed to do? Wait around until he decided I was worth being honest with? I replayed that moment in the bathroom over and over. The way he looked at me, the way he froze, and then that look. It wasn't just embarrassment. It was like something had clicked for him in that exact second, something that changed how he saw me, or how he thought I saw him. One night I came home and found Jay's door slightly open, which was unusual considering how tightly shut he'd kept it lately. He wasn't in his room, but his hoodie was on the floor and his phone was buzzing on the bed. I know I shouldn't have, but I picked it up, just out of instinct. One name popped up on the screen, Mia. She was calling him. I didn't answer, obviously, but my stomach dropped. Why was she calling him this late? And why did it feel like this situation had gone way beyond just a bathroom accident? That same night, I heard the front door close around midnight. Jay had left again. He'd been disappearing randomly for a while, but I always thought he just needed space. This time something told me to follow. I know it sounds dramatic, but curiosity and tension had been building up so much I needed to see. I threw on a hoodie, grabbed my keys, and went out a few minutes later. I spotted him about 2 blocks away, sitting on a bench outside this quiet little diner we used to go to when we first moved in. He was just sitting there, staring at his phone, scrolling, then pausing, like he was trying to make a decision. I didn't walk up to him. I stayed across the street, hidden by the shadows of a tree, just watching. After a few minutes, Mia showed up. She sat beside him. No hug, no hello, just silence. Then she looked at him, and I saw her mouth the words, "Did you tell him yet?" My heart dropped. What was he supposed to tell me? And why did she already know? I couldn't hear what he said, but I could see it in his face. Whatever it wasn't simple. And somehow, I was right at the center of it. As I stood there, hidden in the shadows, watching Jay and Mia sit silently on that bench, I felt a sudden rush of confusion mixed with something heavier, unease. The question Mia had mouthed, "Did you tell him yet?" kept echoing in my mind. What was Jay supposed to tell me? And why did Mia seem so involved? My curiosity was tearing me apart, but part of me was also scared of what I might find out. The next day, Jay acted like nothing had happened. Same cold distance, same awkward silence. But I could tell he was holding something back, like he was carrying a secret that was weighing him down. I tried bringing it up casually, joking about the shower incident, hoping to break the ice. He just gave a forced laugh and changed the subject. That was the moment I realized this was more than just an accidental walk-in or a harmless mistake. Then, out of nowhere, I found an anonymous note slipped under my bedroom door. It was a simple piece of paper with just a few words. "You don't know the whole story." No signature, no explanation. My heart raced. Who had left it? Was it Jay, Mia, or someone else entirely? The note added a whole new layer of mystery and tension to what was already a confusing situation. I started paying more attention to the little things around the apartment. Sometimes I'd catch Jay staring at his phone with a look of guilt or worry. Other times, I noticed he'd quickly hide the screen when I walked by. I even saw him deleting messages late at night. Whatever this was, it wasn't just personal. It felt serious. To make things worse, our mutual friend Mia began acting even stranger around me. She'd drop hints about trust and secrets in random conversations, almost like she was warning me without telling me outright. One afternoon, when I confronted her about it, she just smiled sadly and said, "Sometimes people don't realize what they're protecting until it's too late." That cryptic comment left me with more questions than answers. The more I dug, the more tangled everything became. I started wondering if Jay's awkwardness and silence were about something bigger than just me or our living situation. Was there a past he was hiding? Was he protecting someone, or maybe even himself, from something serious? Late one night, I overheard a whispered phone call in the hallway. Jay was talking to someone I didn't recognize. His voice was low, tense, filled with a mixture of fear and frustration. Jay started explaining something I never saw coming. The walk-in wasn't just a careless mistake. He'd been dealing with something serious. He'd recently found out he had a health issue that was affecting his memory and mood. That morning, he'd forgotten he'd knocked and entered without realizing. The fear of losing control, of hiding this from me, had been eating him up inside. He didn't want me to worry or treat him differently, but his silence had only made things worse. I felt a mix of relief and sadness. All this tension, all the awkward moments, they stemmed from something he was too scared to share. Mia, it turned out, knew about Jay's diagnosis. She'd been supporting him quietly and wanted him to open up to me when he was ready. Just as I was beginning to process everything, Jay reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded piece of paper, the note I'd found earlier. He admitted that he'd left it, hoping to make me curious enough to ask questions and eventually get him to talk. I wanted to comfort him, to tell him everything would be okay. But before I could, Jay's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen and went pale. The message was from a number I didn't recognize. It read, "We need to talk." It's about the test results. Before I could ask anything, Jay's face hardened. There's more, he said. I didn't tell you everything because I wasn't sure how to say it. This isn't just about me, there's someone else involved, someone I care about, and their life might be at risk. My heart was pounding. The awkward shower incident, the secrets, the mysterious calls. It wasn't just about Jay's health. It was a complicated, tangled situation with higher stakes than I ever imagined. The moment that started with a simple mistake had opened a door to a deeper story, one I wasn't sure I was ready to face yet. And just as I thought I finally had some answers, the real mystery was just beginning. After that tense moment, Jay finally opened up fully. He told me about his younger sister, who had been diagnosed with a serious illness, and how he'd been trying to keep it all together while supporting her. The health scare he was facing was actually stress-related, triggered by the pressure of keeping everything a secret. That's why he'd been distant, forgetful, and why the bathroom door incident happened in the first place. It wasn't just about him, it was about protecting someone he loved deeply. Mia's role became clear, too. She wasn't just a mutual friend. She was like family to both of us, quietly helping Jay through this difficult time. The reason she was texting me was to make sure I understood the situation without feeling betrayed by Jay's silence. It was a reminder that sometimes people carry burdens silently because they want to shield others from pain. We spent the next few days talking more openly than we had in months. The tension that once filled our apartment began to fade, replaced by a new kind of understanding and trust. Jay promised to be more open about what he was going through, and I promised to be patient and supportive. It was a tough lesson on how much we don't always know about the people closest to us, and how important it is to communicate, even when it feels hard. Looking back, the awkward moment in the shower wasn't just embarrassing. It was a wake-up call. It reminded me that beneath the surface, everyone has their struggles. What might seem like a simple mistake could be a sign of something deeper. It also showed me how easy it is to misread silence and how important it is to check in with the people around us, especially when they start to withdraw. Life isn't perfect, and sometimes the biggest conflicts come from the unexpected. But when we face them honestly and with empathy, those conflicts can bring us closer instead of pulling us apart. Jay and I still have a lot to work through, but now we're doing it together. So if you take one thing from this story, let it be this: always be kind, always be patient, and remember that everyone has their own story, one you might never see until you really listen